So, I was an atheist. Now I'm the voice behind a 500,000 subscriber Christian YouTube channel. I mean, I still kind of shake my head when I say that out loud because if you knew me back then and if you've seen where I started, you would never believe where I've ended up. I was raised in the Catholic Church, but I wasn't interested in their approach. And to be honest, I thought religion was a crutch. I used to say things like, if God's real, where is He when people are suffering? Or, why would an all powerful being care about me? You know, all the things they have to worry about, they're focused on me. I meant things like this, and I wasn't angry. I wasn't looking to be rebellious. I just genuinely didn't believe. And here I am. Now I host a Christian YouTube channel with more than 500,000 subscribers. And it's grown as one of the fastest channels ever on the platform. It's only 2 years old. 500,000 subscribers in 2 years. Over 2,000 videos. It's inspired. Every video I make is about Jesus, or about hope and truth, and about the kind of love I never thought could be real. So, how did I get here? Well, it didn't happen all at once. I wasn't one of those lightning bolt moments. This happened slower and quieter. And it's a little more personal than that even. You see, I started during a really low season in my life, and to get myself boosted, I wanted to share what I had up here. And what I have up here is a wealth of knowledge and information on how to self-empower, how to start businesses, how to make incredible amounts of money. And I don't know. I had achieved big things in career, money, and I got a little recognition before this all started. But you know what? Something was missing. And I had started this channel as that self-help, self-empowerment vehicle. And I showed up every day like I do now and put videos out there. I did about 800 videos in 1 year. And this channel got about 200,000 subscribers as a result. Then, I just realized something's missing. And so these self-help books behind me, I was going through each one of them chapter by chapter and explaining them to people. And people said, hey, you're really good at taking these complex books and breaking them down into simplistic terms so I can understand them, not me, but the listener. And have you ever tried doing something a little more complex, maybe something like the New Testament or the Holy Bible? And I think my first response was, when you understand why you don't believe in Zeus, you'll understand why I don't believe in Jesus. And, it's kind of a crappy reply, but I didn't believe. And I'd sit in silence at night and feel strange. Like I had everything the world said I needed, but none of it really meant anything. We're just at the point where we're making money and we're just keeping score. And none of it meant anything. I could have anything I wanted, and I remember saying out loud one night, okay, God, if you're real, show me. I'm not going to go to church, and I don't want to talk to a priest. I just want you. And if you exist, prove it. It was a challenge. Now, I didn't get a thunderclap, and no angels showed up that night or the next morning, and what I got was a series of moments. I got a methodical transition. Slowly, my videos from, I call it Doug Zero, when I was just talking about self-help and self-empowerment, they slowly, if you watch this channel, there's a slow transition. It was a methodical transition from doing those videos, self-empowerment, to this New Testament chapter by chapter approach. And eventually that Doug Zero just went away. I stopped doing the self-help and I was only doing the religious videos, not religious videos, the videos about the teachings of Jesus Christ. There's a difference. And it's weird because I had all these questions, and the reason I was an atheist was because I had a lot of questions, and every time you ask questions, at least in the environments that I was in growing up, they'd always just say, oh, you just have to have faith. Well, Doug, we have faith. We just believe, and I'd never have done anything in my life based on just faith, I need analytics. I work based on metrics. I need proof in the pudding before I'm going to invest in something. And people started coming into my life randomly who had answers and would discuss the questions that I had out there. And they'd just start talking to me just randomly. We'd have a conversation and they would just start answering my question. So I swear, this happened. It blew me away. A couple of times it was some Lyft drivers. Some other times we'd be at a location or an event and a stranger that I'd never met before would just start talking to me about my questions and giving me really good answers. It blew me away. I'd turn to my wife and say, I can't believe this. I just can't explain it. And nobody would, I used to tell her, nobody's going to believe me when I tell them that I have no proof. Nobody's going to believe that this actually happened, but I swear to you, on my children, that I would never do that. But this happened. These people were coming out of the woodwork. And then I was having some dreams that were kind of hard to explain as well. Now, here's the kicker. One day, I just started doing these videos. I did a Christian video, a video on the New Testament, and we started with Matthew, and you know what, I showed up for 290 days straight, and eventually we ended up with Revelation, and now we're doing some other really creative stuff. We're doing a tour of America. We're writing stories related to Jesus in real time, going through every single city in America. We started with every city over 1 million in population and above. We did all those cities, and now we're doing all the cities in America between 100,000 and 500,000 people. And after that, we're going to go through small town America. It's getting millions of people watching it every day, and it's inspiring people. And I'm getting these messages from folks saying things like, this is what I needed to hear today. Thank you for doing this. And at first, getting messages like this, I wasn't quite sure how to take it. I thought, oh, this is some crazy people that are going to start showing up at our house, and and I didn't know, and I really did think that for one point. I was like, maybe we should just stop doing this. And then I got a note from somebody that said, that they were at a very low point in their life, and that was going to be their last day. And the video that I did that day changed things for them, made them rethink their approach. And they said something to me that I say in my videos sometime. People might wonder where this statement comes from. Sometimes people are hanging on by a string, and you never know when you're the string. And that's a tough thing. And you know, that moment changed everything. I don't want to go through all the details of that note that somebody sent me, but it was an email, and the first few videos I did, I would put my email address in the description of the video so people could reach out, and they did, and they still do. But that email changed everything, and I don't mean that everything got easier after that, but for the first time, I got clear. I got clear on what the purpose was here and why I was doing this. You know, when I was 16, it's the longest clinically documented death case in America. And I had somebody come up to me and make sense of what I'm doing here. They said, Doug, God saved you for a reason. He saved you so that eventually you would find your purpose and you would do these videos, and these videos would make a difference for people. I don't think I'm that important. I don't think I'm not doing this all because of some special invitation from our Savior. I don't think that, I just don't know. I guess I still don't think that these are that great or that we're really making that big of a difference. But it is growing fast, and so fast forward a bit. So we're doing these Bible videos, and they're really great, and I start praying a little bit more, and I start feeling things that I can't explain, and I start changing as a person. And I'm just doing the videos. After reading one of the chapters of the Bible, I would write a inspirational and an instructional, all one video, for that chapter, and I'd write it in a way that I hoped somebody between the 6th and 8th grade would be able to understand. And then it was more of a tug towards sharing more. And I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't know where we were going to go for that. So I started small. I just started recording some new topics that I was inspired to do, and I would post those on YouTube and walk away. And wouldn't you know it, it resonates, and we start getting all these subscribers and all these people and more notes, and then I post another, and soon I'm doing 6 videos a day because I'm so encouraged and inspired by all this activity. And one by one, the messages start rolling in, you know, this is what I needed. You put to words what I've been feeling. Thank you for speaking truth. And now here we are, 500,000 people strong, 500,000 souls tuning in. And I can assure you, it's not because I'm great. Not all the messages I get are positive. Sometimes people feel I'm condescending. Maybe I am a little bit, but I'm not. It's not my intention, I can assure you. I'm not trying to be above anybody. I think I just have a tone from an old business life, from a leadership role that I used to play before I turned things over to our new CEO. And none of this is happening because of me, and this channel growth is not because I'm great. It's because God is. And you see, this channel is not about me, and it's not about a brand. It's a megaphone for the one who saved me and you. I was an atheist, and now I'm a voice for the gospel. And maybe you're watching this right now because God's trying to do for you what He did for me. Maybe you're skeptical, and maybe you're tired of the empty answers. Maybe, like I was, you're staring into the dark and saying, God, if you're real. And then that old thing my grandma used to say, do not put thy Lord thy God to the test. I know it says that in the Bible too, in Scripture. So I'm not testing Him. And I don't think you are either. But sometimes we just want answers. We just want a little bit more than taking somebody else's word for it. But let me tell you something. This is a real thing. He is real. And he's listening. And the fact that you are here and watching this video might be your sign. You know, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. I believe in divine appointments. I believe in divine inspiration. It's been a while since I've made a business decision. And if you're searching or if you're struggling, and if you're done with surface level answers from religious leaders, then watch what happens next. Just whisper what I did and say, Jesus, if you're real, I'm yours. Because if he could take an atheist, break my pride, and I have a lot of pride and a lot of ego, trust me, and fill my heart and build this megaphone out of my weaknesses, then he can do more than you can imagine with your story too. You know, I firmly believe that the only difference between somebody who struggles in life and somebody who has everything they want is the people who have everything they want, they never quit. When they get knocked down, they get back up. Well, I want to tell you something. When you invite Jesus into your life, when you get knocked down, you don't have to worry about getting yourself back up, because he'll lift you. He'll carry you, and he'll put you in the right place. Heck, I used to think I was right where I was supposed to be. Wealthy, powerful. I had everything I wanted in this world, and if I didn't have it, I could go get it. And that's where I thought I belonged. I thought I was doing the right thing. If this changed me, which it did, and it didn't change me because I decided to change. This just changed me. Jesus just changed me. I mean, I used to be a totally different person. Before, I would not have sat down and given 3 seconds to a conversation like this. I was where I wanted to be. I had what I wanted, and you know what? If you didn't, it's your fault for not trying or going and getting it. That was wrong. Not the right approach. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that at all. So, I guess I should say I'm sorry to the people that I was misinformed and treated them in a way that wasn't in line with the values that I have today. You ever done things in your life or said things that later you regretted? Well, the cool thing about having Jesus in your life is that when you realize that you've done those things, you can immediately unload that and move on into a new life. And this is my new life, this channel, and it's beautiful. I touch millions of people every day with good information, with a positive note, a positive message, and according to them and the notes they send to me, it's changing lives, and it's making people's days better. So now, before, I woke up and signed paychecks and thought I was making a difference in thousands of people's lives because I was making their life possible by making payroll. Now, I touch millions of people's lives every day, and I change things for a lot of people, and it has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with anything I do, but everything that it has to do with everything that I'm inspired to do on a daily basis. Sounds crazy, and I just wanted to share this because I still don't really understand it. And you know what? It's true. And I hope you have a beautiful day, my friends, because I do care about you. I believe in you. And you know what? If anybody's worth it, you are. God bless you. Take care.